Hello and welcome everyone to this session on the Hidden Trauma Summit. We're starting in 2 minutes. Unfortunately, Florian, who was supposed to do the session, got sick unexpectedly. So we will play a recording from Ilan Stefani instead on From Good to Great, how to access your superpowers. Hello, good morning, everyone. Hope you are doing well for this Hidden Trauma Summit. Just letting you know that unfortunately, Florian, who was supposed to do the session this morning, got sick. He just let us know half an hour ago, so he will not be able to do the session. Instead, we will play a recording just for you to know already. So this session, instead of being about trauma in the LGBTQ community, will be instead about From Good to Great, how to access your superpowers. And this will be a recording from Ilan Stefani. We will reschedule Florian as soon as he is better, or we will provide a recording on this topic if you chose for that. I would love to have people, the cameras on, so it would be lovely to see a couple of faces, and don't leave me alone in the void here. And I don't mind if you are walking your dog or if you're wizarding around in the kitchen or whatever you assume as appropriate. Thank you, Lee. Good to see a face. All right, we are in time, so do let me start the recording officially. Welcome everyone to this summit on hidden trauma. My name is Daniela, and before we're starting, I have actually some not so good news. Unfortunately, our teacher for this morning session, Florian, got sick. Very short notice, so he can't do the session on LGBTQ and trauma this morning. We will reschedule this session, and we will provide this to you. We'll let you know as soon as we know more. So please be patient with us. You will get it for sure. To not leave you disappointed, we do have a recording which might be equally interesting for you from Ilan Stefani on From Good to Great. So if you want to stay for that, I would be pleased. And do let me do some, first, some small announcements. So it's Thursday and it's not yet too late to share. And we would totally love if you would invite people who might be really grateful for you to come to this Hidden Trauma Summit. So please share the link. And further on, a few safety announcements. As usual, trauma can bring stuff up, so make sure you're resourced right now. Good question to ask is it actually kind if I'm watching a session on trauma right now? And you're best to answer that. Also, super important, it's educational, it's not therapy. If you're in need for therapy, totally no judgment. We all have been in this place. Certainly I have been. But please seek out a trauma professional for this. So this session won't heal you. It will educate you. And trauma is nothing to binge watch. Again, be kind to yourself. If you notice you tense up, you're getting agitated, space out, you can always move or focus back on the breathing, or you can stop and watch later. All right, with that, let me start my screen share and the recording with Ilan Stefani. Just a moment. Now we have it. And I hope you enjoy.
Okay, yay. Thank you so much for showing up here. I'm thrilled about this topic of next step of healing. from good enough to great. Because I remember those, I would have even said, dark times when I tried to be at least good enough in order to exist. So I think this is something so common. It's not about me sharing about my trauma stuff or my trauma healing journey or whatever. It's more us exploring something that might happen to all of us on the way, on the path. There is a kind of idea, one day I will be good enough. And of course, in the beginning, we try to have the best A levels, we try to be the best at university or the best in sports or the best lover or whatever. And then we realize, okay, this kind of I am actually good enough will result from my trauma healing. So then we are heading towards trauma healing in order to be good enough. And this good enoughness in itself is something that I'm so curious about, or like so thrilled about sharing with you some kind of insights or even revelations that I had on my way, because I was deeply stuck in self-hatred, not good enough at all in my existence. And then I think nowadays really overcame this kind of trap, being stuck in I want to be good enough. So let's cover something around that. And of course, as always, you are so welcome to just listen and maybe check or test. What am I suggesting here? It's not that I'm sharing a truth or something, but something that I suggest for you to test, because it might be a kind of easier path for all of us if we let go of some kind of narratives in the background. So I think, let me put it into a kind of tough language. The idea that you will ever be good enough, resulting from trauma healing, resulting from training, resulting from anything or nothing or just accident. The idea that you will ever be good enough for anything in itself is a trauma symptom. In itself, your hope, there is any way, a spiritual way, a healing way, a methodological way, an ideological way, a religious way, a whatever way of becoming good enough in itself is a symptom of hidden trauma. So in other words, what I'm suggesting here is us sacrificing the whole idea of life being about good enoughness at all. It's like you will never be good enough, just because good enough is not a breathing thing. Good enough is just a translation coming from your maybe school trauma where you haven't been good enough, or I have not been good enough at school. So then after school trauma, I head over to the next project in order to be good enough, at least there. And then this didn't work, and this didn't work, and this didn't work. And coming from so many experiences, it's almost like let's exhale the whole hope for good enoughness at all. Let's exhale it on the whole level. And I'm mentioning that here, and I'm emphasizing that to you, because I do know that in the background of many, many therapeutic circles, many kind of talking therapies, etc., there is this narrative in the background. It's still something that we have on our shoulders. I have to work on my childhood stuff. I have to work on my triggers, that I'm good enough in order to manage a thriving relationship. And if I do not get that done, there is no hope for me being in a thriving or peaceful or nourishing relationship. So there is always this, my life is postponed to tomorrow. My life will start when I have the ticket, the qualification, the certificate, and the certificate is the one and only thing, and that is I am good enough. Here's the thing why I do not consider this good enoughness to be realistic, to be existent in realistic terms. It's a mindfuck. It's not a thing that is designed by existence. It's a thing that is designed as one trauma symptom, of many in your or my system. I think when we are stuck in hidden trauma, we are managing our life, our everyday routines, with a subconscious level of existential threat. There is something that makes us feel exhausted and trapped in a constant state of survival. All of us on the collective level, due to transgenerational trauma and maybe individual hidden trauma as well, all of us are running our lives, economics, politics, education, everything also based on the script of survival. We are studying nature based on the script of survival. Who is projecting that onto nature? It's us. We are seeing life through the filter, through the lenses of survival. The moment that you have a kind of breakthrough, a kind of awakening moment coming from this, whoa, I have to make stuff work. I have to get that done. I have to work on my stuff. I have to make my finances, etc., etc. The moment there is an awakening, like, oh, life is about, wow, it's about something else. And even traumatizing moments might open your eyes for this more realistic reality than survival and everyday struggle in business. Even maybe a super painful birth for your child. Maybe even witnessing the death of your father, being with him in his last breath. Whatever that is, something like that can tear away the curtain and can reopen you in your awareness around life is not about survival. We will be dying anyway. So there is something of an outburst of, oh my God, this is not about survival. And the moment that the matrix of survival stops, the moment of enoughness, good enoughness, confident enough, pretty enough, smart enough, the whole enoughness dies as well. It's almost something that I ask you to test by applying it to those awakening moments of dance, of ecstasy, of maybe deep, deep breakdown into tears. And then after that, suddenly in heart-opening wave of gratitude, test it in those rare and more than super precious moments of life catching you, tearing away the curtain, showing you what reality is about. And in those moments, it's like there is no thing like good enoughness. And if it would be there, it wouldn't be juicy enough for us to go for it. Don't fix yourself. To some extent, yes, trauma healing is a very, very realistic thing. It's something that your nervous system is designed for better than for anything else in your life. So trauma healing is a thing. You're an expert in trauma healing if you feel like that or not, no matter what. But your trauma healing is not here in order to work for you, in order to make you happier, in a way of fixing you or repairing you. It's like trauma healing is just trauma healing. It's not fixing you. It's not fulfilling your hope. It's not starting your life. Your life is happening right now. My life is happening right now. And that's a challenging thing because in this moment, we might be absorbed by some kind of outer circumstances that prepare us for future by adding a little bit to my trauma education and a little bit to my trauma knowledge so that tomorrow, next year, I will be ready. So what is my suggestion around our topic of next step of healing from good enoughness to great? My idea is let's go to the title for this session and let's destroy the title. There is no next step. There is no, we enter the space of good enoughness because we did everything right. And then we do the next step, level 2 all together. And that is now we are about to head onto the dimensions of greatness. Start with greatness right now. Like start with greatness. And what is starting with greatness? It's basically, sorry to say, you and me digesting that we are great in this very second. We have always been great. So it's not even like, okay, so I do not have two challenges, becoming good enough and becoming great, okay? We have only one challenge, it's becoming great. Okay, it's not even becoming something, it's about realizing that I am. Okay, I'm knocked out. That is how trauma healing works. It's like, it's a knockout. It's a knockout for our metrics around what do I have to do? What we have to do is unlearning that it is about becoming anything that you wouldn't be already. How to unlearn? How to unlearn the illusion that's so seemingly realistic and real and well proven of ungreatness. How to unlearn the illusion of ungreatness. Even though it's an illusion, even though it's a mindfuck, it's something that defines the vibe of your energy. It's something that has an impact on your day-to-day energy level more than on anything else. So I would never say a belief system is a belief system. It's not a word. It's something that runs down to your very veins, bones, marrow of your bones. How do we unlearn the illusion of ungreatness? The best thing to do that is jumping onto a situation where your illusion of ungreatness is triggered. What could that be? When is there a situation where your illusion of ungreatness is triggered? One thing is you do not make it to an appointment and somebody relied on you and you disappointed her or him. So you are kind of unreliable. Maybe not a good friend. You're maybe not a good parent because sometimes you're just exhausted and yelling at your children even though you have been yelled at as a little child. And so you try so hard around not doing that with your own children, but really allowing them to feel held and loved and welcomed by you anytime, day and night. And sometimes you are just completely exhausted and yelling at them even though, and it breaks your heart and you keep doing that. So maybe something like that. I think all of that, when it comes to self-blame, when it comes to self-critics, when it comes to the inner critics, your illusion of ungreatness is triggered. The best way of stepping out of this illusion is jumping onto those situations. I'm saying that because normally, like I would say, okay, little bit of makeup. Now I write a love letter to myself as my very best friend, as my higher self. And then I'm holding there my rose love letter, looking into the mirror, being so pretty because I'm high on makeup. And I'm reading my love letter from my soul voice to myself. And then I dearly hope that Ilan learns loving herself, that Ilan learns seeing that she is a walking and breathing goddess. No, what? It doesn't work. I tried. I tried privately with my private mirror and my private makeup, which isn't so professional, I admit it. But I also tried in professional tantric seminars and big rituals and Om and Shanti and opening my heart chakra and being unconditionally loved by whomever. It just doesn't work. It's something like, it's a theater. I'm not great. So this is me asking all of us to doing a very super practical sequence that you can do whenever you are triggered in your illusion of ungreatness. Whenever you blame yourself, whenever you feel guilty, whenever you feel shame for something, whenever you feel, oh, I am wrong, oh, I did something wrong, oh my God, I fucked it up more than anybody else, you can do that. It's a preview to the online course that I've put together, Moving Beyond Trauma. And I'm super curious how this lands in your nervous system. And of course, it's a very simple technique that deeply speaks to your instincts that are just waiting for showing up for you and for showing you that you are great and you have always been great, and me as well. Spooky topic. So if you want to follow my words into this practical sequence, otherwise you can just listen. If you want to follow, I ask you to stand up. And maybe even turning away from the screen, just taking a break from the screen. Exhaling a few times, maybe with a sigh, maybe with some voice. Looking a little bit weird, washing down the mask of small talk, of everyday routine, of something like your habits. Okay. And now what I will be guiding you through, first of all, it's a super important yet super simple thing. I call it whole body shaking. We go into depth with that in the Moving Beyond Trauma. And here we are doing something like a small teaser and appetizer. So stand with your feet hip distant apart, closing your eyes, unblocking your knees. Your knees are soft. Yes, energy flowing through your knees. Great. Opening your mouth, breathing through your mouth. Exhaling, inhaling. Relaxing your closed eyes. Now I ask you to initiate the whole body shaking with 4 joints. 2 knee joints. Start shaking. It's a soft bouncing in your knee joints. Just bounce it, standing there and bouncing a little bit in your knees. Perfect. And in the joints of your hands. So 4 joints of your body are shaking right now. Your knees and your hands. Shake them. Great. Stay with your eyes closed. Stay with your breath flowing in and out through your mouth. Inhaling, exhaling, maybe exhaling with a sigh. And now you might notice that when you shake your knees and you shake your hands, it's a matter of time until your whole body starts shaking. So start shaking with your whole body. The good news are this whole body shaking is not a technique. It's not something that I invented for sure. It's something that your nervous system has studied for a course of a few billions of years. So shaking is the trauma healing language of your nervous system. The more you are into whole body shaking, the easier it is for your nervous system to recover from trauma, to recover from the illusion of life would be about survival, life would be about becoming good enough, or anything like that. It's like becoming good enough, it's just not sexy enough. Woo! Breathing, shaking in your whole body. Now I ask you to even shake your head from one side to the other, just because there is so much belief system stuff in the head brain. Shake the head brain. Shake your head. Eyes closed, breathing. Shake in a playful way. There is no right way to shake. There is no wrong way to shake. Every way of shaking is healing and weird. Every way of shaking looks a bit silly. There is no way of shaking good enough, of shaking well enough. There is nothing like that existent in this universe. So we can relax. Yay, shake a bit more, whole body shaking. What is not shaking in this moment in your body? Do a body scan. What is not shaking? Sometimes, for example, my pelvis is a bit stiff. So then I'm like, oh, wow, my pelvis isn't shaking so much. And then I'm shaking that a little bit more. Maybe I'm doing a few steps with my feet, just in order to move my feet as well. I'm shaking the back side of my shoulders, sighing out, shaking out all those layers of stress that have been accumulated there. Relax your face. even your throat, your vocal cords. Great. So 30 seconds more of whole body shaking. This is a shaking quickie. You can do that longer. But for this journey, it's all about just diving into the whole body shaking as an experience. And after those 30 seconds, I ask you to stay with your eyes closed and keep following my words, because that is when our journey will go on. So I will guide you into the next phase from there. Shake a few more moments. You are doing great. Shake your legs. Shake your thoughts. Don't take this ever too serious. Shake your spine. Wow, great. Yay, you are doing great. Perfect. Woo. Okay. And then you can slow down the shaking. Stay with your eyes closed whenever anything feels unsafe, uncomfortable. Just open your eyes. It's so easy. I'm fully here. If you are into another sequence, stay with your eyes closed. Sense your body right now. Sense your felt sense, your sensations. You are doing great. Yes, perfect. And now I want you to remember a situation, maybe even today, when your illusion of ungreatness was triggered. Is there anything today that you didn't do that well, where you didn't fulfill your own expectations? When somebody else blamed you for something and you became very, very insecure? What is something that you didn't do that well? Connect to that. Great. And I ask you to sense what that does in your nervous system and in your energy level. How do you breathe when you are believing that you are not great and not even good enough? Believe in that. Take it serious. This is about you having to repair and improve yourself. Yes, perfect. What's your posture? Great. What is happening in your mood and in your face? You are doing great. Just hold on to that for a moment and feel how you create the illusion of ungreatness with your body. That is super important. The illusion of ungreatness is not something in your mind. It's something that you create right now with your body. What we are doing is unlearning to create that. And we are doing that all together. Follow my words. And now inhale, exhale, inhale, open your mouth, and inhale again with open mouth. Exhale with a sound. Inhale, lift your shoulders. Exhale, drop your shoulders and start shaking in your arms. Inhale, lift your shoulders again. Exhale, drop your shoulders, shake your arms and your legs. Shake your arms and your legs. Yes. And now shake your whole body. This is unlearning. Back to whole body shaking. There is no ungreatness on earth. Not for you, not for a bug, not for a dolphin, not for a tree. There is no such thing like ungreatness. Unlearn. Unlearn. Shake your whole body. You are doing great. You can open your eyes when anything becomes too intense. Easy peasy. Shake your head brain. Shake your poor mind that was believing so firmly into you are not good enough. Shake, shake, shake. Yay, you are doing great. Perfect. Go for it. Go for it. Whoa, move your feet. You are doing great. Yes, enjoy. Reclaim the energy. No, you are not good enough. I am not good enough. I'm pretty bad in this moment. Woo, yay. Stop this false respect from words. Just throw yourself into the energy. You are doing great. Yes, yes, yes. What you sense right now is the pulse of greatness. That's the pulse of reality. Yes, sense that. Shake your legs, shake your arms, Shake your head from one side to the other. Woohoo! Shake. Open your voice. Regain the energy. The higher your energy, the more your energy is vibrating in your whole body, the more you are immune for this illusion of your own ungreatness. And I ask you to do that as a daily prayer. And maybe you're curious about more stuff like that in the Moving Beyond Trauma adventure that we are heading on to in this moment. Thank you so much for your openness, for your trust. And most of all, thank you for trusting your own nervous system. I think the most trustworthy place on earth is your holy, sacred, super smart nervous system. Yay! Thank you. Woo! Yay! Greatness. Oh. So yay.
All right. Thank you so much. How's everyone doing? Just give me a sign that you're okay, or did it bring something up? Yeah, I'm still really sorry that Florian couldn't show up, but we will check in with him and find a way to provide you with this session, because this topic is important as well. But I hope that was a nice replacement. If you liked it, thank you, Michael. Also, big gratefulness to those of you who are like tuning in the middle of the night or very early in the morning. I love your commitment. I love your engagement. So if you like this, please do not hesitate to share today with someone who will be grateful for this, because next week it's gonna be too late. And I'm just putting a few links into the chat about that, so you can check out also the courses we are having coming up. Like Ilan was talking a little bit about moving beyond trauma, and do let me share my screen to show you a little bit of what we have actually available. Just a moment, I need to find the right one. No, that's not the right one. Apologies. There we have it. Yes, that's the right one. So we have a couple of courses coming up. If you want to dive deeper into this shaking modality, Heal Your Trauma, Moving Beyond Trauma. This is a very short, accessible course with Ilan Stefani, where she's diving deeper into this shaking method you just experienced. If you want to move beyond trauma and want to discover your superpowers, becoming great, accessing your greatness, and accessing your lovely weirdness, you see, like Ilan is not like bored normal. She's lovely weird, and this is what superpowers bring up. So if you want to dive into this, the Moving Beyond Trauma course also has some additional information on how a couple of our teachers actually moved into their superpower. So there are like sessions with Mark, with Patricia, with Mel, the Body Witch, with Paul Linden, just to name a few. And if you're a facilitator and you want to also like recognize the trauma in the people you're working with, the Superpowers course for facilitators is the best bet for you. So it includes the shaking course from Ilan. It includes also live tutorial sessions. It includes all the recordings of the summit and some other nice bonuses. So check it out, share it, and further on, I hope to see you in the upcoming sessions. So what we are having coming up today is Mark, the hidden gifts inside your trauma. Later, Erica will talk a little bit more about not being good enough. You're probably not good enough for this session, she calls it, self-doubt and trauma. And more coming up on resilience, on self-care, on meditation, on the lingering effects of trauma. So lots and lots of stuff. I hope to see you around for that. And for the rest, I'm wishing you a wonderful, a perfect day. And yeah, looking forward to see you soon. Thanks a lot.